Hello everyone, how are you doing today? I'm Dr. Hyewan Kim, a specialist in nutrition and hair health. In my previous video, I talked about the 3 most important vitamins for stopping hair loss, and your response was incredible. But many of you wrote to me asking about minerals, and you are absolutely right to ask, because minerals are just as important as vitamins, and in some cases even more so. The reality is that you can be taking all the vitamins in the world, but if you are missing these 3 specific minerals that I'm going to reveal to you today, your hair is going to keep falling out. It's that simple. Minerals are the real silent workers behind strong, thick, healthy hair. Today I'm going to share with you the 3 most powerful minerals out there for stopping hair loss. These are the minerals that science has shown over and over again are absolutely essential for keeping your hair follicles active and producing new hair. And the best part is that you can start seeing visible results in as little as 8 weeks if you make sure to get these minerals in the right amounts. But before we continue, I want to ask you a very important question. Have you ever had a blood test to check your mineral levels? Most people focus only on vitamins and completely forget about minerals. Let me know in the comments if you know your levels or if this is something you need to check. Now I'm asking you, if this information seems valuable to you, to give the video a like right now and subscribe to the channel by clicking the notification bell. Every week I publish content that can transform your hair health, and I don't want you to miss a single video. Let's go to the first mineral. And I'm going to start with the one I consider the most important of all for hair health. Mineral number 1 is zinc. And if I had to choose just one mineral to recommend to someone with hair loss, this would be the one. Zinc is absolutely fundamental for the health of your hair, for multiple reasons that I'm going to explain to you in detail. First, zinc is essential for protein synthesis in your body, and your hair is made up of 95% of a protein called keratin. Without enough zinc, your body simply cannot manufacture keratin efficiently. The result is weak, thin, brittle hair that is prone to falling out. Think of zinc as the supervisor of the keratin factory in your body. Without the supervisor, production stops. Second, zinc plays a crucial role in cell division. Hair follicles are some of the fastest dividing tissues in your body, producing hair constantly. If you don't have enough zinc, this cell division process slows down dramatically, and hair growth is severely affected. Third, zinc helps keep the sebaceous glands of the scalp working properly. These glands produce the natural sebum that protects and lubricates both the scalp and the hair. An imbalance in sebum production can lead to problems like dandruff, a dry scalp, or an excessively oily scalp, all of which can contribute to hair loss. A study published in Annals of Dermatology examined zinc levels in people with different types of hair loss. The researchers found that patients with alopecia had significantly lower zinc levels than people with healthy hair. Even more impressive, when patients with deficiencies received zinc supplementation, many experienced a noticeable improvement in hair growth. Here comes something very important you need to know. Zinc deficiency is extremely common, especially in certain groups of people. Who is at the highest risk? People over 50, because zinc absorption decreases with age. Vegetarians and vegans, because zinc from plant sources is absorbed less efficiently than zinc from animal sources. People with digestive problems like irritable bowel syndrome or celiac disease, women who are pregnant or breastfeeding, and people under chronic stress, because stress depletes the body's zinc reserves. Let me ask you a question. Do you identify with any of these risk groups? If so, there is a very high probability that you would benefit from increasing your zinc intake. Tell me about it in the comments. The best food sources of zinc include oysters, which are the most concentrated source of zinc in nature. Beef, pork, chicken, pumpkin seeds, cashews, chickpeas, and lentils. If you opt for supplementation, the commonly recommended dose is 15 to 30 milligrams per day. But be careful. Excess zinc can cause problems and can interfere with copper absorption, so don't overdo it. Mineral number 2 is iron, and this is probably the most studied mineral when it comes to hair loss, especially in women. Iron has an absolutely vital function in your body, transporting oxygen to all of your cells through hemoglobin in the blood. This includes the cells of your hair follicles. Without enough iron, your follicles do not receive the oxygen they need to function properly. Follicles deprived of oxygen become weak, enter the resting phase prematurely, and eventually stop producing hair. A study published in the Journal of Korean Medical Science found something striking. More than 60% of women with unexplained hair loss had iron deficiency. 60%. That means that if you are a woman and your hair is falling out without an apparent reason, there is a very high probability that iron is part of the problem. But here comes something crucial that very few people understand. The reference ranges for iron in blood tests are too wide. Your doctor may tell you that your levels are normal when they are actually at the low end of the range, which is not optimal for hair health. To have truly healthy hair, you need to be in the upper half of the reference range, not just within the range. The most important indicator you should check is ferritin, which is the protein that stores iron in your body. Hair health experts suggest that ferritin levels should be above 70 nanograms per milliliter for optimal hair growth, although many laboratories consider any value above 12 to be normal. Iron deficiency is especially common in women due to monthly menstruation, pregnancy, and childbirth. It is also common in people who follow restrictive diets, in people with intestinal absorption problems, and in those who donate blood regularly. Now I'm going to ask you something important. Do you know your ferritin levels? Not just iron, but specifically ferritin. This is the most important test you can have if you are experiencing hair loss. Let me know in the comments if you've already had it done or if this is new to you. The best food sources of iron are divided into two categories. Heme iron, which is absorbed more easily, is found in red meats, liver, chicken, and seafood. Non-heme iron, which is absorbed less efficiently but is still valuable, is found in legumes, spinach, tofu, and fortified cereals. An important trick: consuming vitamin C along with iron dramatically increases its absorption. A glass of orange juice with your iron-rich meal can make a big difference. If you need supplementation, work with your doctor to determine the correct dose based on your ferritin levels. Excess iron can be toxic, so supplementation must be supervised. Mineral number 3 is selenium. This is the mineral that almost no one knows about, but it can make a huge difference in the health of your hair. Selenium is a trace mineral, which means your body needs it in very small amounts. But those small amounts are absolutely critical. Selenium acts as a powerful antioxidant in your body, protecting cells from the damage caused by free radicals. The cells of your hair follicles are constantly exposed to this oxidative damage. Selenium is necessary for the production of glutathione, known as the master antioxidant of the body. Glutathione protects the hair follicles from the oxidative stress that builds up with age, stress, pollution, and other environmental factors. Without enough selenium, glutathione production decreases and your follicles become vulnerable to damage. But selenium has another fascinating function related to the hair. It participates in the conversion of thyroid hormones, and the thyroid has a direct impact on the hair growth cycle. Thyroid problems are a common cause of hair loss, and maintaining optimal selenium levels helps the thyroid to function properly. A study published in PLOS ONE found that selenium deficiency was associated with a higher risk of hair loss, and that supplementation improved the condition of the hair in people with low levels. However, and this is very important for you to understand, selenium is one of those minerals where more is definitely not better. The range between the optimal amount and the toxic amount is fairly narrow. Excess selenium can cause a problem called selenosis, which paradoxically also causes hair loss, along with nausea, fatigue, and other unpleasant symptoms. Here I want to ask you a question. Had you heard about selenium for the hair before this video? It's one of the lesser known but more important minerals. Tell me in the comments if this is new information for you. The best natural source of selenium is Brazil nuts. A single Brazil nut contains approximately 100 micrograms of selenium, which is more than 100% of your daily need. This means that with just 2 or 3 Brazil nuts a day, you completely cover your selenium needs. Other sources include tuna, sardines, chicken, eggs, and mushrooms. My specific recommendation is to consume 2 or 3 Brazil nuts a day, no more. This amount provides you with all the selenium you need without any risk of excess. It is the easiest and safest way to ensure optimal levels of this mineral. Now that you know the 3 most important minerals for stopping hair loss, I want to give you some crucial tips to maximize their benefits. First, these minerals work best together, and in combination with the vitamins I mentioned in my previous video. Zinc, iron, and selenium do not act in isolation. They work together with vitamin D, biotin, and vitamin E to create an optimal environment for hair growth. If you focus on only one of these nutrients and ignore the rest, you won't see the results you hope for. Second, absorption is just as important as the amount. You may be consuming enough iron, but if you take it with coffee or tea, the absorption is dramatically reduced. Caffeine and tannins interfere with iron absorption. On the other hand, vitamin C increases iron absorption. Zinc is best absorbed when taken on an empty stomach, but it can cause nausea in some people, in which case it's better to take it with a light meal. Third, blood tests are your best friend. Before starting any mineral supplementation, I recommend that you have a complete panel that includes serum zinc, ferritin, serum iron, and selenium. This allows you to know exactly where your levels are and supplement in a smart, personalized way. Fourth, be patient and consistent. Minerals are not going to regenerate your hair overnight. The hair growth cycle takes time, and you need to maintain optimal levels for at least 8 weeks before you start to see visible changes. Consistency is absolutely key. Fifth, food is always the first option. I always recommend getting minerals from food first and using supplements only when necessary or when a blood test demonstrates a deficiency. Foods provide minerals in forms that your body recognizes and absorbs easily, along with other cofactors that help with absorption. Before we wrap up, I want to mention 2 things that may be sabotaging your mineral levels without you knowing it. The first is excess phytates in your diet. Phytates are found in whole grains, legumes, and nuts, and they can block the absorption of zinc and iron. This doesn't mean you should avoid these foods, but if you rely heavily on them, consider soaking them before cooking to reduce the phytate content. The second thing is chronic stress. Constant stress literally depletes your body's zinc reserves and can interfere with the absorption of other minerals. If you live in a state of permanent stress, your mineral needs are higher than those of a relaxed person. Now I want to ask you one last very important question. Which of these 3 minerals do you think you need the most? Zinc, because you're under a lot of stress or follow a vegetarian diet. Iron, because you're a woman with heavy menstrual cycles or you feel tired frequently. Or selenium, because you want that extra antioxidant protection. Write your answer to me in the comments. I love hearing what resonates most with my community, and it helps me create better content for you. I also want to know what state you are watching this video from. Whether it's California, Texas, Florida, New York, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Ohio, Georgia, North Carolina, Michigan, New Jersey, or anywhere else in the United States, or from the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, or anywhere else in the English-speaking world. It makes me so happy to connect with people from so many different places who share the same goal of having healthier hair in a natural way. And one more thing, what other topics related to hair loss would you like me to cover in upcoming videos? Would you like me to talk about natural oils for the hair, about specific foods you should avoid, about massages to stimulate the scalp, about the role of hormones in hair loss? Your input is extremely valuable to me because it helps me create exactly the content you need. If this video was helpful to you, share it with a friend or family member who is also struggling with hair loss. It might be exactly the information they need to hear today. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you don't miss a single new video. I'm Dr. Haewon Kim, and I'll see you in the next video. Take good care of yourself and take care of your hair.